What's going on, guys? I dry aged some sirloin for about 28 days. Kind of the gold standard. I wanted to go longer, see 60 or 90, but I might actually have to, I might not be able to do that under my new job constituents. So I decided to open it now and just have it now. We're going to cut it open. I'm going to show you guys how I did it, and hopefully it's good. So here is how it was stored. So this is mosquito netting on the outside, just to prevent any flies from getting in it. Not to prevent any hamsters from getting at it. That's what the mouse traps are for, because they chew right through this netting. So you want to put this in a place where like a mouse can't get to it, usually hanging up. Smells good. No real, not too much funk on the outside. I'm just going to cut all this off. I mean, you could honestly reuse this netting, but I'm not going to. What I did was I wrapped the outside in beef tallow. Little white mold, that's good. You know, when you see dry aged steaks, you'll usually see a lot more mold because the mold is already cultured in the facility. The way I aged this was I put a bunch of beef tallow on the outside, and then I put some peppercorns on it, it deters bugs and anything that might want to eat it, but it doesn't affect the flavor of the meat. So the reason I put tallow on is so the outside's a bit softer and not as hard to cut into. Not that I think it would have made that much of a difference actually, but I'm going to trim up the whole thing just to make it and cut it into steaks that can be stored in the fridge. I'll show you guys how to do that right now. So first we're going to cut off the ends, and this is a really amazing smell. It's like this like funky umami flavor on the middle of, even on the inside. It's like almost rotten meat is the smell, but it's a nice smell when it's done the right way like this. And some people leave some of the funk on and just cook it. I don't like doing that because I think it tastes way too funky. Yeah, same thing on this side. Nice funk. I think 28 days was a good bet with the temperature constituents I had, because I think if I went longer than 28 days, this might be a little too funky. It smells like fish sauce, like a mild fish sauce is the best way to describe it. And like fish sauce is super duper funky. This is like, there's that funk there, but it's pleasant and mild. It's not like overpowering like fish sauce. So now if you guys decide to do this, it's up to you. You could cut the steaks first and then trim the sides off, which is, honestly, it's a bit easier to do than this. But this is just to do it all in one go. And this is super funky, this piece. I'm assuming because I dry aged this at a bit higher of a temperature, it's probably going to be a bit more flavorful than most 28-day steaks would normally be. Alright guys, that's it, all trimmed up. Awesome funky smell. I'm going to wipe this down and then we're going to cut into steaks. Alright guys, so we got about 6.5 pounds here. I'm going to cut steaks from one side, I think, and then we'll just go all the way down. I think I'm going to do like 4 steaks from all this. So 1.5 pounds each. And the steaks that are going in the fridge, they're going to go like this. You're going to just take a paper towel, just wrap the top and the bottom of the steak, and that'll stay good like that. Just one layer of paper towel. These are really dried out. It'll be fine as long as you're cooking them. And these steaks, which I'm going to cook today, what I'm going to do, about an hour before we're going to cook them, or well, maybe it could be a couple hours before we cook them. Just going to take some salt, season them. So we'll season them now with salt, and then we're going to season them right before we cook them again with salt. It's going to take about an hour for the salt to kind of penetrate all of the meat. You could also do this overnight, it's even better, but I haven't found the overnight necessary. What's going on, guys? So I'm about to sear off these steaks, but so what I did was this steak, all of them were salted about 4 hours ago. This steak was salted an hour ago and 15 minutes ago. This steak was salted 15 minutes ago, and this steak was just salted 4 hours ago. So we have 3 saltings, 2 saltings, and 1 salting. We're going to compare the flavors and see how much salt is necessary for the steak. And this is just a raw, unsalted piece. I just wanted to try it for the flavor of the beef. So if anyone's wondering if they should, even on like a raw meat diet, age their beef, it does taste considerably better. It's really good. I'd probably actually prefer raw aged beef over like cooked unaged beef. So I'm gonna go outside and grill these up. Even though it's December in New York, regardless of the weather, I almost always grill when I cook. So that's the heavily salted steak, that's the medium salted steak, and this is the lightly salted steak. So we're just gonna go for a slight. We're just gonna brown each side. I'm not gonna go for like a. I'm not gonna go for a cooking temp because I eat my meat pretty much raw. So this is literally going to be like, it's gonna be like raw on the inside, but the outside is gonna have a nice flavor on it. This pan, I might make some foie gras in a little bit. So I was just warming up a cast iron. The problem with cast iron on the grill is the foie gras fat tends to burn a little bit. Let's see. I know you guys can't see too well with the lighting, but the key to getting a really good sear is just having a flame that's just below the meat. So the flames are kissing the steak, but they're not actually touching the steak. Alright, so I'm going to finish grilling these, and as soon as I have the color, I'm going to take them off, and I'll see you guys inside. Alright guys, so I'm going to taste the lighter salted one first. Just way more tender and more flavorful than the meat was before it was aged. Like 100% better and worth it. Now I'm going to try the one we salted twice. When we salted twice, definitely better. I'm going to try the 3 times salted one to see if that was is any different. The one that was salted 3 times had the best flavor. So we salted it 4 hours before, an hour before, and then 15 minutes before. And I put even some more salt on it after, and it so I'm sure you could do a dry brine overnight, and then like a salting an hour before, and then 15 minutes before, and then right after. Just really layering those flavors of salt makes it super well seasoned throughout the beef.